Retail sales in Indonesia have dropped significantly this year amid the weakening of people's purchasing power. The outlook for next year could even be gloomier as the stagnant economic growth and new tax policy could further hurt the retail business.
Retail sales in Indonesia increased by 1.5% year-on-year in October 2024, sharply easing from a 4.8% rise in the previous month, according to Bank Indonesia's latest retail sales survey as reported in tradingeconomics.com. The figure marked the sixth consecutive month of expansion in retail turnover, but the softest pace since January, due to a notable slowdown in food sales and further declines in trades of information and communication, cultural and recreational goods, and home appliances. The Indonesian Retailers Associations, or APRindo, has estimated that the retail sales will grow only between 4.8% and 4.9% annually or year-on-year as a result of the decline in people's purchasing power. The projection is lower than 5.3% recorded last year. The Trade Ministry estimates that the market size of the country's retail industry reached $46.34 billion in 2022 and projected to grow to $71.89 billion by 2031, with a compound annual growth rate or CAGR of 5% during the forecast period. Economic observers have contributed the drop in retail sales to the decline in people's purchasing power. This has caused the fall in the household consumption, which accounts for more than 50% of the country's GDP. The Statistics Indonesia BPS reported that the growth rate of household consumption in the third quarter of 2024 fell to 4.91% from 5.05% in the third quarter of 2023 or 5.40% in the third quarter of 2022. The signs of the weakened buying power can be seen from the monthly deflation during the last 5 consecutive months from May to September. In fact, deflation in September was recorded at 0.12% deeper than the previous month. Executive Director of the Center of Reform on Economics or CORE Indonesia, Muhammad Faisal, said that the deflation that occurred for 5 consecutive months was an anomaly. He argued that with economic growth of 5%, Indonesia should have recorded inflation. According to Faisal, the deflation has been caused by weak purchasing power due to the decrease in people's income compared to before the COVID-19 pandemic, during which many Indonesian workers lost their jobs, but many have not found new jobs until now. The weakened purchasing power has been also caused by waves of layoffs during the last 3 years. The Manpower Ministry recorded almost 60,000 workers were laid off between January and October this year. Meanwhile, despite the more challenging environment, the Trade Minister Budi Santoso is targeting the growth of the Indonesian retail sales to reach 5% next year. However, economic observers are pessimistic that the 5% growth target could be achieved as the economic growth is expected to be stagnant at 5% next year. Moreover, the government's plan to increase value-added tax to 12% next year from 11% at present would further hurt the people's buying power.
It's time for our weekly discussion here on Economic Outlook, and we will be discussing about the retail sales in Indonesia that have been remaining weak throughout the year. And we have our guest, Bapak Roy Mande. He is the chairman of the Indonesian Affiliate Global Retailers Association, and he's here to share his views on the reasons behind the decline in the country's retail business. Welcome, Pak Roy, again to Economic Outlook. Thanks for coming here. Now, Pak Roy, we know that throughout the year, the retail sales have been declining. There has been no improvement so far.
Exactly.
But could you please give us a brief interview of the retail business so far this year, from your point of view?
Okay, thank you, Lisa. Yeah, for the information, as we know from any information from media, from any news, retail in this year was impacted by the deflation. As we know, that deflation is around 5 months, right? After we celebrate of our Ramadan at the April, and we are going to the slowdown economic from the May till the October, 5 months. So at the situation, as we know that many customer restrain about their habitual, about their behavior to spend money, to consume anything that they want and needs for their living. So it's mean that when the customer is slowing by consumption, so it will impact it to the retailers. So as we know that in the several of the five months, our growth is going down. It was decline around the in the Java Island. As we know that around the -1 and the -2%, the several of the retailers, and the positive still increasing at outside of the Java, because as we know that outside of the Java, not too many customer, not too many people left their job. As we know that many people in Indonesia left their job because the situation is not so good at the 5 months deflation. But while the deflation is going at the Indonesia, at the November we have it's been that recovery, but not the fully recovery. The inflation will increase around the 1.2–1.3%, and hope that in this December around the 2%. So what's the meaning of the rise of the inflation? It means that the customer back again to spend the money, and especially as we know that we are going to the Christmas, we are going to the New Year,
festive season.
Festive season. Usually the people take a vacation and they spend the money for buy the shirt, buy the shoes, and so on, going to the vacation. And some of the people celebrate about the New Year and the Christmas. So it means that we hope that our retailers hope that the customer back again and receive our any promotion things, any promotion goods that prepared around 3 or 4 months ago. And this is a special condition, special product, not the old products, but the newest product. Usually any retailers prepare well with the suppliers, with the producer, to send the best trend or the best product in the season.
Well, it seems to be like that is the main goal right here, is to give a boost, to give confidence again for the consumers to go back to that habit of spending without thinking too much, and to be, to spend more regularly. Now, speaking of products, just now you mentioned that the people's purchasing power is considered one of the reason of the decline in sales. Now, in your opinion, Pak Roy, what product categories have been most affected by this, and why are they hit harder than the others?
Usually the primary needs, primary products such as the rice, sugar, cooking oil, anything of the primary needs, usually the people wants to make stock at their home. Before they remain to stock because they avoid to increasing the price when after the New Year. So they manage well about what the primary needs. And the second things, the secondary needs, they will buy according about the situation, such as that when they receive the monthly, the certain incomes, usually at the 1 year, they will take extra income. We call it a certain payment of the income. So they will spend the money. Now they will spend for the secondary needs. So usually after the foods, beverages, they will spend the shirt, shoes, electronics, yeah, and some of the people wants to maintain their house, yeah, their cars. Some of the spend for that things. That is usually at our customer.
Pak Roy Mande, I can definitely need to ask to you about how the online shopping has been heavily affecting, you know, like the department stores. We know that, you know, it's very normal these days how people will go browsing for the products at the shopping malls, but they will actually end up buying them online because online tends to be cheaper even with bigger discounts, especially these days with all the Tokopedia, Shopee, and TikTok. How much have this affected the department stores in sales?
Yeah, I think that in the cases, especially of the behavior of the customer in Indonesia, the customer behavior in Indonesia usually when the festive came, they will come with their family. They will come to the store, to the malls with the family, whole family. That is the habitual of the customer and the people of Indonesia. So it's mean that online still give some promotion, but when the season come, usually the people and the customer back again to the malls and the stores, because that will be what to say that like the silaturahmi, together in the season, together in the festive. Buy something and spend money for all the needs of the family. So online is still online and offline right now is not dichotomy again, right? Every retailers have the online, and some of the online have the offline store. So we call it that online and offline. Offline and online is one of the systems, yeah, one of the common channel. We call it the omni-channel. Yeah, we call it the omni-channel, and each of the channel have segmentation, have the different behavior of the customer. So usually when the festive come, people will back again to the malls and the store.
Okay, but it doesn't mean that they shop though, Pak Roy,
yes.
Because sometimes people just go to the mall to eat.
Yes,
and,
yes.
I mean, it is a fact that we've seen a lot of outlets, a lot of shops have been closing down. Do you think this is all due to online shopping?
Not really, because the situation when the retail store closed, it depends on the corporation. Maybe the corporation wants to reallocate the store to another place, which is the demand and the customer more promising. And some of the corporation, the retail corporation, wants to close because they want to change the design, yeah, and we'll make it a beautiful decoration and change of the various of the product and so on. Not when the retail store close, not only the retail collapse means that, but some of the reason the corporation closed the retail store.
Okay. So, in your opinion, the online stores and the offline stores are currently still working
really.
hand in hand together?
Yes.
Okay.
Correct.
Now, if we can just shift at the moment and speak about the foreign retail chains in the country, how is the presence of the foreign retail chains at the moment? Do they still exist? Is it still growing? How is the situation like in Indonesia?
Yeah, as we know that the segmentation of the customer for the foreign retailers is different with the middles and the lowest segment, socio-economic status. So in Indonesia, usually the foreign retailers have the special, have a niche customer. Because some of the customer, as we know that at the socio-economic status of A plus, or the B plus, usually spend the money outside of the Indonesia, going to the abroad, going to the overseas to buy anything. But foreign retailers open in Indonesia, so they don't need to go outside, go to the overseas. So I think every retailers, local and the foreigner, have any segmented, have the segmented customer each other. So we are not competition about that things, because the segmentation of the customer is already there.
Okay, all right. And as you know that starting January next year, the government is planning to raise the value-added tax from 11% to 12%. In fact, this increase is not too high, but some say this will have a significant impact to our economy. Can you tell us how is your opinion on this, and what is the outlook going to be like for next year?
Yes, as you know that right now the government is still announcing about the situation,
the value-added
about
tax,
the value-added tax. Okay. From our side, as a retailer corporation, we need to know about what the discretion of the government give the people, give the customer for their purchasing power. Because the purchasing power is a need as one of the prioritized in our country. As we know that household of the consumption is one of the biggest contributor of the GDP, our GDP. So, but maybe the government have the helicopter view more than our view. So it means that we hope that the government give the discretion. And when they promise to make a differentiation about the products, the government promised that the primary needs does not put at the 12%. Like the rice, sugar, cooking oil, they don't want to put the 12% VAT. But the luxury goods, they will put the 12%. So we hope that list of the what kind of the products.
The details, yeah?
Yes, what we need to know. We need to know of the declaration from the government. So anyway, if it's possible to declare fast, so people will know and does not change about their habit, their behavior of the customer for spending the money.
Okay, so this is a very tricky situation indeed, and we'll see the announcement what's going to happen today. All right, Bapak Roy Mande, head of the Affiliate Global Retailers Association in Indonesia. Thank you so much for coming here to Economic Outlook.